So next up, we have an interview with the beautiful Miss Jillette Johnson held at Joe's Pub in the city. She talks about her new album and everything, so check it out.
It's Taj from the SkinNYC, and today we're at Jillette Johnson's album release party for her debut album, Water in a Well. We're gonna see if we can catch up with her and get a few questions, so come on. What first inspired you to become a musician?
You know, I think I was born a musician. It was just always something that I did and always something that I wanted, and like singing was like speaking for me.
Now, I know you like Joni Mitchell, more specifically her album Blue, which kind of inspired me to look into that album myself. But what other artists would you say most inspire you?
There's a ton of them out there. I really love Billie Holiday. It's funny because Billie Holiday wasn't really a songwriter, but just the way that she sang was so emotional and so honest and raw. And yes, she had an incredibly beautiful voice, but for me it was more about her just intensity and her integrity when she sang. So that really, really has influenced me as a singer and as a songwriter.
And your long journey to get to where you are, because I know you've been pursuing this dream since you were 12 years old. Were there any times where you had to keep yourself going, and what really kept you going and didn't let you stray away?
Yeah, I definitely have been through my share of hurdles, and I've cried a lot of times because of being in this industry. But at the end of the day, songwriting kept me going. I never had a minute that I wanted to stop writing songs, and then I had never had a minute that I wanted to stop singing the songs that I wrote. And I just didn't. I didn't see the point of giving up, because then what am I? Like, that's my guiding thing. That's how I know who I am.
I read that you actually turned down the chance to be on The Voice to pursue your independent career. Do you regret that at all?
No.
No?
I sold out Joe's Pub. I mean, look, it's definitely a hard thing to do, to walk away from millions of viewers. But at the same time, I am having such a blast every day, really getting to build my career the way that I want to, and sing all the songs that I write, and sing them the way that I want to sing them. And to build my story with people. I want people to get to know me in a natural and gradual way.
When you think of yourself, what really comes to mind? Like, do you see yourself in the light that your fans might see you in?
Sometimes.
Are you Jillette or just Jillette?
I mean, you know, I have a lot of different sides to me, but there is definitely a very real side of me that spends lots of time in the shower, and my skin starts to get really wrinkly because I spend so much time in the shower just thinking about how this looks on stage and what this is and where I want it to go. And I think that that's really important. You have to be able to see it for a person to be able to make it happen.
What person in your life would you consider to be your role model?
My father. My dad is just the sweetest, most hardworking man. He's so smart. He's an incredible businessman, and he's so humble, and he never gives up on something that he knows is important to him. And all of those things really gave me the tools that I needed to survive in this industry.
A lot of artists like Taylor Swift, for example, or even Carole King, they started off writing songs for others. They were the songwriter, and they transitioned into becoming a musician. And I've learned that you write for BMI. That's correct?
I'm a BMI, yeah.
Would you be able to share any artists that you may have written songs for in the past or currently?
No, I mean, you know, I had some like really random cuts that came out in Scandinavia, but I didn't really like make it as a songwriter, mostly because I didn't want to. Like, my artist career has always been the most important thing to me, and it's fun to write with other people and for other people, but at the end of the day, my eyes were always very intensely focused on being on stage.
Well, Violence has become a really big issue in society, and with the intensity of, like, for example, the Trayvon Martin case that just went past, and all those different things. We were reading about your organization, Hey Ugly, and I was wondering if you could share more information about that with us.
Sure. Hey Ugly is a really wonderful organization that basically tries to teach kids how to self-empower and not self-bully. So there's a lot of attention being focused on bullying in schools, and I think that it's necessary attention because it's a really big problem, and I think that it can lead to a lot of the violence that we see these days because a lot of kids go through this trauma and then they don't know how to deal with it. But the thing about Hey Ugly that I feel very passionately about is that they focus on how to encourage kids to encourage each other and how to encourage kids to follow the things that they love and the things that they're good at or the things that they want to be good at, as opposed to just like wagging a finger at some kid and hoping that that'll make them stop being mean. That doesn't seem to work.
Very true. You seem to be heavily influenced in that, like, for example, your song Cameron, which is like a big anti-bullying song, which I know is the song that kind of got you discovered by Wind Up Records. You want to share a little of that story with us? Yeah.
Sure. I wrote Cameron right before I got signed to Wind Up, and I showcased for Wind Up before I wrote Cameron, and then I wrote Cameron, and then I played it for Greg Wattenberg, and that was the song that sort of sealed the deal for him. You know, Cameron came from a very organic place for me. I'm not transgendered, but there is a person in my life who is, and I was definitely inspired by that story. But I also have felt very alien in my own skin at certain times, and that's, I think, a human emotion, and that's why I'm able to get on stage and not only sing Cameron about my friend or about a lot of the people that I've met along the way as I've played Cameron across the country, but I really do sing it about myself. And I think it's just a song about trying to figure out how to be you and feel beautiful and forget about everybody else.
So how does it make you feel inside when people can come up or they tweet you or tell you many different times how that song has helped them out or how you've helped them get through situations? How do you feel?
It's amazing. I almost don't believe it. Like, it doesn't seem real to me because some of the stories that people have shared with me and some of the ways that they've related to a song that I wrote by myself, you know, just this little idea that I had, you know, it's so much power, not in like in an arrogant way, but in a like heavy way where I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I am having this conversation. And sometimes it's hard for me to emotionally grapple with because it's really intense.
Definitely. Well, that's all. I felt like I've got to know all the different levels of Jillette. Thank you.
Thank you.